Welcome back, people. It is episode 43 of the Taxi Squad podcast. We are live and in person.
We're
back
not live.
again.
We're not live.
I mean, in person we're
Right
live.
now we are, technically.
Got the ficus fucking back in full effect. Ficus Mike.
We got Fike up in here.
If you're watching this on the YouTube, Ficus Mike. Right? So we're back in full effect. It is October 25th. You'll be listening to this on October 26th. We've got a fair amount to get into today. A hell of a strange and unusuals, plural.
Yeah.
And then we also have our usual college football breakdown, NFL talk, and, of course, a breakdown of what the World Series will become. Vinny, sitting right next to you this time. How the fuck are you?
Dude, I'm so good. Welcome back to my house.
Love it.
We're recording this from Casa de Glav.
Casa de Glav.
I am happy to have you here. I'm happy to be able to do this in the flesh, my friend.
Yes.
And also, like you said, couple strange and unusuals. We got a couple teams going to championships.
Oh, yeah.
The NBA season is getting up and starting right now. And I heard a little quip today where it was like, the NBA season's starting, so now none of the reporters have anything to talk about because all they talk about is the freaking off season, which is true. But I'm excited to start watching some basketball as well. So this is actually the time of year where you get every single sport.
Yeah, for like 2 weeks, it's every single
It's
sport, basically.
it's
Minus cricket,
amazing.
of course.
Well-
Cricket's a big deal.
Is cricket on off season?
I have no fucking clue,
I
but
was like, maybe they're here. I'm talking every major American sport, okay? Which is great. All the ones that we talk about on this podcast are finally here for a couple weeks. And this is just a reminder to think back on, what is it, like July, when
Yeah.
you're like, hey, we got nothing.
There's nothing.
What are we going to talk about this week? We got to
Nothing.
fill this time. That's insane. It's impossible for us to not fill this time, which is amazing.
we always fill the time, people.
Yeah.
I mean, that's something now. Just wait until like February after the Super Bowl where there's literally fucking nothing but basketball. And
Yeah.
Mike's just like, that's what's up.
We're gonna
That's
break
what's up.
down all of Jay-Z's best songs.
Yeah, at that point, we just become a music podcast
Yeah.
once February hits, although Vince just goes on full-blown tears. We talk about the NFL because off-season's off-season.
Right.
And, Senior Bowl. Come on.
Oh God, I forgot about the Senior Bowl. Oh
Who doesn't love the Senior Bowl where all the best college players come together to
where
play?
they're like, we definitely have to play in this extra game where it doesn't have anything to do
Yeah.
with anything.
No, but hey,
Wow.
you know what the best thing that ever came of the Senior Bowl was Tyson Bagent or Bagnet or whatever the fuck he's called.
Bagent, we gotta learn his
Bagnet.
name. Learn his name, Mike. That's our guy.
Bagnet. I like the French
Tyson's
version.
Bagnet.
Bagnet.
Yeah, Bagnet.
The French version. We have a whole Bears corner, which I'm pretty jacked
Oh,
about because it's the first time we have a savior.
Oh, fucking chill out.
Tom Brady,
Okay.
Tom Brady of the Lakes.
Calm
you
the
know?
fuck down,
Tom
dude.
Brady of the Great Lakes, aka Tyson Bagent.
We got a lot of time between then and now.
But, Vince, I'll let you kick off this strange and unusual. You
Sure.
sent this to me, and I was like, whoa.
Yeah, so the world's least favorite dictator of all time was shown this weekend on Michigan State's screen during their game against their storied rival, Michigan. So essentially what happened is a photo of Mr. Adolf Hitler was displayed on a scoreboard at Michigan State as a part of the pregame trivia feature on Saturday. The question was, what country was Hitler born in?
Oh,
And
boy.
the answer, for those of us that are trivia nuts, is Austria.
No way.
So they apologized for the board. They said that it was lax oversight, or it was a third-party person who broke in there knowing they were going to do pregame trivia. To me, it's kind of hilarious. To a lot of people, it's less hilarious. I don't think you're allowed to put Hitler on a scoreboard during a game, Mike.
I just think what's even funnier is there's like an ad for Duckett Brothers Distributing.
Yeah.
Shout out to Duckett Brothers Distributing that says, "We never drop the ball."
Ah,
And I just think the parody of all of this is fucking hilarious
Do they
because it's
get
like
ad-
right above it is a picture of Hitler.
Do they get a free ad because of this?
I think
I would
they
be like,
would.
hey, ad money's probably, or spin zone, put it in reverse. I would have never looked at this advertisement ever.
Well, now we're talking about
But
the
now
Duckett
we're-
Brothers Distributing on
Right.
the podcast.
Not necessarily
Duh.
connect to Hitler, just, happens to be in the wrong place at the wrong time.
They had nothing to do, nor do they like anything to do with those people who did those things.
Now that I have to work, like if I have to work in anything like distribution, I might be going to the Duckett Brothers.
We could be going to the Duckett Brothers
That's
out of
marketing,
Michigan area.
That's marketing,
Shout out
baby.
to them. That's marketing 101. Yeah, this is definitely a hack, which I think is fantastic. And,
Do
you
you
hey.
think this whole thing's fantastic?
No, I don't think it's fantastic.
Dude, I think Hitler's totally chill.
No.
This is
I
cool.
don't. I'm not Kanye, for the record.
Yeah,
but I will
or
say
Kyrie.
that this is horrible that somebody would do such a thing.
Yeah.
Is the comedy and the parody of it great?
Yeah.
Yes. Right. But hey, we have friends of the podcast that are
Third party source.
But hey, they played Michigan that day, and it seemed seemingly like Michigan just had their way with them.
They needed a new Führer, if you know what I'm saying.
Oh boy, you brought that up. Do you know though that a lot of people believe that Hitler didn't kill himself?
Yes. Oh, a lot of people think he's still alive.
No, he's not still alive. He'd
Some
be like
people think-
120 years
Well,
old.
some
That'd
people
be
think
literally
that
fucking
he.
impossible.
Okay, some people think that he booked it.
Yeah,
And ended up probably in South America.
Argentina is technically
Which storied past.
history
We're
podcast.
talking history. There was a good 2-year span where I fell asleep to history documentaries
Okay,
and ended up, you run out of documentaries, you move into conspiracy podcasts.
right, absolutely.
I started watching it, and then I started learning about the history of Argentina because that's a weird little land.
Right,
They have one of the biggest Oktoberfests
and
in the
German
world.
settlements in the world.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So they have one of the biggest Oktoberfests, and there's a lot of people there that are whiter, you know.
Yeah, blonde hair, blue eyes.
I mean,
like,
Messi,
what the fuck are they doing in
Messi.
Argentina?
Messi is a good example of that.
Sure.
And yeah, a lot of them have like a lot of German last names, which is very like, oh, I wonder why. And this can bring us back right on to like that one Canadian guy that got. You saw this, I assume. There was in Canada, they like brought in like a.
Don't assume, Vince.
Okay, in Canada, they brought in a guy, and they gave him applause for being a person that fought against the Russians because they were like on the side of Ukraine, and Zelensky was there and all that.
Yeah.
That guy ended up being part of like the Werfer or something or another division that was a Nazi. So they gave him a standing ovation, and then the guy that brought him in and like essentially sponsored him to come there, he ended up resigning.
So you're saying like Trudeau's a complete fucking Nazi?
They were like,
it's not far off.
They were like, yay, this is great. And then like the next day, the people were like, hey, that guy is a Nazi that's gotten away with everything for the last like fucking 75 years. So
Whoa.
So that guy was a Nazi, and Canada is worse than the U.S. There's your answer.
Fuck hockey. Anyways,
Hey,
it is no, hockey's a great sport, but
Yeah.
to the point, that is a strange and unusual fact for most people. A lot of people believe that a lot of these guys who are part of the Nazi party all got on submarines, booked it to fucking Argentina,
Fucking
and
ships
disappeared.
at some point, dude.
Yeah.
You just go. No one's gonna be
So
looking for
they
you.
never truly found the remains of Hitler, even though they claimed to, but there wasn't like a fucking body or some shit. You know what I'm
Cyanide.
saying? Yeah, supposedly. It smells like a cooked up story. But at the end of the day, hey,
Unintended.
military industrial complex could be headed for number 3. But hey, for the other strange and unusual, Dwight Howard.
Yes.
This is interesting. Fun friend of the Taxi Squad podcast. Shout out to Zach in St. Louis. Brought this up to us. And he basically said, hey, did you see Dwight Howard sucking dick? And I was like, excuse me? And yeah, basically that's what happened.
There's
Dwight,
no video.
There's no video.
There's a video.
There's no video.
You see this cool video?
But we are back with the sexual side of Strange and Unusual.
Yeah.
And with all that being said, there are were allegations that basically Dwight Howard admit to sucking a pain. So this is a thing.
Yeah.
That's why LeBron got rid of him on the Lakers.
No. So there's this guy named Stephen Howard who essentially had a relationship with Dwight Howard in some way or another. He then claimed sexual assault against Dwight Howard. This happened in 2021. So I remember when the story came out initially, and this is what I was saying earlier to you, where now it's kind of all coming to pass, and they are currently in a court situation, or he came out with a statement. He said their relationship, while true, was also consensual. And my thought was, this is probably not the first guy, won't be the last guy. And this is just the one situation where one dude that likes to go both ways or go one way or whatever it may be gets caught and then is forced to out himself because fucking Stephen Howard was like, hey, you did this shit to me, when it seems like all of the evidence now is going against that. So, Stephen Howard, if this is true, then I'm sorry. And if it's untrue, you're an asshole. It's kind of where I feel.
Well, I mean, hey, it's like the whole thing that happened with, oh, man, the guy who pitched for the Dodgers. What was his name?
Who? Clayton Kershaw?
No. The guy who got outed for allegedly punching that girl in the face and then realized it was a big
Trevor
money grab.
Bauer. 'Cause
Yeah.
that all came out too, and it's like, oh yeah.
Trevor Bauer didn't do a thing. It was consensual.
Yep.
And then he has the text messages to prove that she was just a money-hungry hoe.
Yep.
But now the tables have turned, and now it's a money-hungry man and another hungry man for something else. But supposedly, allegedly, Dwight Howard forcibly tried to give this man fellatio, which I don't understand how that works. How do you forcibly do that to somebody? It doesn't compute.
It sounds like a difficult situation.
You think he got down there? He's like, this thing is just not getting up.
I'm thinking scientifically that's very confusing.
It's just like,
just based on how boners
like
happen, dude. I don't know if that's. I don't know how that happens, but I'm not even trying to dissect how that happens in real time. I'm just like, what, well, how or what? But yeah, no, I do have sympathy for Dwight Howard here, because if it weren't true, like, that does suck. Because there's like an automatic stigma that's going against him, and like people are like, fucking Dwight Howard likes dudes. It's like, that's not.
Hey, love who you're gonna love.
What I'm
it's
saying,
just
but
like,
it's
don't
probably not
forcibly
great.
try and give grown ass men
Correct.
blowies. You know what I'm saying?
Correct. So there's two sides of this. It's like, if he did it, then fuck you, you're the worst. And if he didn't, like, it does suck, because it's like, now people look at him differently than maybe he wanted them to. So, fucking, god damn it, what a news story though.
Do you think he put on Styx it's magic to give homage to his days back of the magic?
It could have.
I mean, who knows?
Don't
This could be
forget,
going on
he was
for
the most dominant man in the NBA for 2 to 3 years.
He was, and he was dominating other men, other places. Anyways, maybe, but quite strange, and 100% unusual.
That is unusual. That's for sure unusual.
Very strange. You know what's not unusual?
What?
Shaving your face.
Oh, I need to do that.
I need to do it too. Got a little 5 o'clock shadow going.
Oh, man.
You know,
Mine's a little more than a 5.
yeah, but hey, bearded Vince is a good Vince,
It's
especially
always-
with it becoming fall season.
Yep.
Which is a little delayed fall here in Chicago. Quite great. I mean, it was 75 degrees here yesterday.
Yeah.
And I mean, what more can you say other than we have an Indian summer, which is great. And
What does that mean?
You never heard of that?
Nope.
It's all about the farmers' almanacs.
Ah.
So basically,
yes.
it's like an elongated summer that one could say it's like an Indian summer.
Got
right?
it. Okay.
So that's the technical definition of that here
Okay.
in the Midwest.
Technical?
Semi.
So I was like, I don't know how technical that was.
Whatever.
Are you trying to get your almanac information from the world's greatest sports podcast?
What?
Check it out here.
Whether
Yeah.
you're either trying to get the greatest Farmer's
Weather?
Almanac and weather info, or you're trying to shave your
This guy.
face, you should shave your face with our wonderful friends at Henson Shaving Company.
This part of today's episode is brought to you by none other than our friends at Henson Shaving. If you guys have been listening to the show for a while, you already know that we swear by Henson Shaving. We've been using them for months, and there really isn't a better product out there. The Henson razor puts an end to shaving irritation and cuts while also making your skin feel comfortable and smooth. This razor is made by using CNC machines to aerospace standards. That's right, rocket ships, people. That means it's made to very tight tolerances, meaning that the combination of how securely it's held and how minimally the blade is exposed delivers a smooth and safe shave no other razor can offer. It's literally one blade. Be safe. Please be safe. They're very sharp. You twist on the top and you get to work. It's that easy. You remember the beard bet? You remember me shaving off the whole thing? If you need to watch somebody use it, go on my Instagram and check it out because it's really that easy. Cost of ownership averages $88.20 every 2 years, which is essentially $177 less than normal cartridge razors. They're sustainable, it's precise, it's Henson Shaving. It's got a nice weight to it. It's made out of metal. None of this plastic garbage. So please use the promo code TheTaxiSquad, TheTaxi, SQUAD, at checkout, and you'll receive a 100-pack of blades free with the purchase of the razor. So you go on the site, you add the razor that you're looking for, and then you add a 100-pack of razors, you'll get those for free. For most users, this amount of blades will last you 2 to 5 years, depending on how often you shave. So that promo code, again, is the Taxi Squad at HensonShaving.com. Go check it out.
College football talks. Vince and I weren't together this weekend for the college footballs, but best believe from afar he was busting my balls.
We FaceTimed.
About my lovely USC Trojans, which we will get into.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Yikes.
I got some fun facts about that team, which is coming up. But a new fun fact in one of the newest and latest and greatest college football scandals coming out of the NCAA football world is that Jim Harbaugh is now allegedly cheated due to spying on other teams in the Big Ten.
He likes to win.
Every team in the Big Ten.
Jim Harbaugh likes to win.
Yes.
Any way possible.
That man will win in every way possible. Currently ranked number 2, the Michigan Wolverines, who have literally played nobody on the fucking season.
Yeah, garbage.
They've
garbage
legit
schedule.
played every bottom barrel Big Ten team.
Yeah.
And, you know, the tale of the tape this year is that this kid just looks like an absolute stud. What is it? McNamara? Cade McNamara?
They're starting quarterback, J.J. McCarthy.
J.J. McCarthy.
Yeah, Cade McNamara is on the Iowa Hawkeyes.
That's
injured.
right. That's right.
And
But
injured.
he was on, if my memory serves me
He was
correctly.
on Michigan last year.
Okay. So
Yes.
J.J. McCarthy seems to be the true understudy of the Harbaugh guys
Yep.
of what his quarterbacks should and will be. Now, the name to bring up here is a gentleman who has the most epic porn star name I've ever heard. A guy by the name of Connor Stallions. Connor Stallions. In the Stallion Group, a United States Marine Corps veteran, was outed as the alleged mastermind behind this endeavor.
Yeah.
Where basically he attended 11 Big Ten games, purchased tickets by himself, and then was video recording each game in order to bring back information to Jim Harbaugh.
Yes. Supposedly he was trying to get the hand signals and the different audibles and also the plays of the other teams. He would pay people through Venmo, which is how they found this, because he sent GA to somebody and then bought tickets from them from both sides of the stadium, trying to figure out which one he wanted to go on to get a better vantage point. This seems pretty true at this point. It seems like it's kind of irrefutable evidence. Not surprised that Jim Harbaugh did this. None of this has surprised me in the least. I think it makes a lot of sense. I heard an argument today, too, that's like, hey, is this why when he goes to the playoffs, not knowing who they're going to end up playing, they can never actually strategize against them and gets fucked up in a playoff? Because the guy who can't go to the game before and check in on them before that happens. So that's possible. They obviously don't have a good record in the NCAA playoffs, but this is Jim Harbaugh, who likes to win games, trying to win games as hard as he can.
Well, listen, I mean, it goes back to the old story of if you're not cheating, are you trying?
Exactly.
I mean, come on. If you're not cheating, are you trying? I mean, let's think about Bill Belichick.
Yeah.
And you don't think other NFL teams were doing that? Come on.
No.
They just got caught.
No, it was just him. Bill Belichick, big cheater.
No way.
I think, and this is the thing, too, because people are talking about the implications on Harbaugh's job with this. I wouldn't be surprised if he's an NFL head coach next year. Truly. We talked about this before. He's gonna get suspended if this goes any further than it is already.
What if?
It's possible, man. He's a smart man. He's a good coach. He's trying to cheat. Ends up getting caught for it. Moves up to coach the Bears.
I mean, are you opposed to that?
No, I like the idea. I brought this up a couple weeks ago, and you were like, no.
Well, okay, here's the only reason why I think it wouldn't work. All right? Because Kevin Warren used to be the president of the Big Ten, is now the Bears president of basically all operations.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, George, good old George.
And Jim, not.
I don't think George's moral compass would allow him to hire the Jim Harbaugh. Even though Jim Harbaugh used to be the Bears starting quarterback, Jim Harbaugh used to, win games for this team way back when. And he did play with none other than Walter Payton for about a season. But at the end of the day, this is quite interesting. Do you think he's doing this on purpose? Because there was another allegation that he bought like a recruit a pizza.
No.
And that violated NCAA rights,
No,
right?
I just don't. I think he's just like, go do it, and we're not going to get caught for it. I think.
Well, how are they going to track it back to Michigan? I don't know how they would, because if he like bought it with his own money and his own credit card, and it wasn't under a university,
you
in
shouldn't
Michigan,
get in trouble for buying a kid a pizza. Is kind of where
I'm not even talking about the pizza.
Yeah.
I'm talking about this Stallions guy, porn star name guy.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is like if he went and bought a ticket to an Ohio State game with his own money, how could they track that back to?
Well, supposedly you're not allowed to go to other teams' games when you're on a staff.
But what's his title on the staff? That's the thing. Or was he hired as like a consultant?
Right. That's the thing. I don't know what's refutable evidence in the eyes of the court versus the eyes of public opinion. I don't know what you could actually get in trouble with, but I also don't know what jurisdiction like you're required to have in the NCAA, or can they just kind of make their own call based on how they feel about it?
The NCAA is kind of the wild, wild west.
That's kind of what I think too.
They do things as to how they feel to be correct, and whether or not they agree with the other side, it's just kind of going to happen. Right. Now, I think the ultimately dissolve of the NCAA will come in the next decade. With the way NCAA football is trending and college football is trending, I do believe the NCAA will just go away.
They're a horseshit organization. We've been saying it for fucking years.
Yeah, they are. But we do love the product they put on the field on Saturday.
Well, right, but I like any college doing. I don't know if it's the NCAA that's doing that. I think it's more so just like that's the benefactor of having a bunch of colleges with football programs.
It's true. It will be interesting to see the long-term implications, the NCAA stepping their hands into things and kind of being the world police of college football.
Which is always the best because they have never done anything wrong.
They've never done a thing wrong.
Yeah.
No, just like profiting immensely off of college athletes, which some people may believe that that's a good thing or a bad thing. I'm not necessarily.
Crazy.
Yeah,
absolutely.
But they
crazy.
get a free education.
I hate
half
that argument.
of what's the price of a fucking education anymore? Can somebody tell me? I don't know.
Why does Caleb Williams even need a fucking education?
He
He's going
doesn't.
to the NFL,
He's
dude.
making $10 million a year to study fucking basket weaving.
It's crazy, man.
But he gets a free education that he'll never fucking use.
To USC. Great. Awesome.
I mean, for the rest of his life, he will be Caleb Williams, whether he's successful at the next level or not.
Correct.
That, to me, is the thing. And go ahead, Vince, because I know where you're leading with talking about my boy.
Mike, USC lost, dude. I don't know if you saw that. Did you catch that? Did you catch the game? Did you watch it?
Yes, I did watch the entire game in its entirety.
I watched it.
Yeah, I know. I know you did. So Vince thought it was real fucking cute to FaceTime me.
Yeah.
In the most just pinnacle moments of this fucking game. Zachariah Branch returns a kick for a touchdown.
Yeah.
They get the ball back and clip the game-winning field goal with seconds left because we scored too quick.
Yeah.
Some way, somehow, we scored too quick.
That field goal was brutal. I was looking at you when it happened. Definitely had more than a couple in me, too, which was fun. I was trying to be supportive, but I don't think it was taken that way, so I'm sorry in advance because of that.
No, you're not. Don't apologize. You're not fucking sorry.
A touch, you know, but hey, it's good for content.
You're not sorry.
Utah has a good defense. Utah, their offense played a lot better than I expected them to.
Hey, that team punches you in the mouth.
Yeah.
Technically, they're very sound. They're very physical, and they run the ball well. And they will scheme up and play with anybody. Who would have thought that, you know, the Mountain West team that went to the Pac-12 would be almost like the cream of the crop? And it doesn't matter who's playing quarterback for them, whether that's Cam Rising, whoever the fuck this kid is, Bryson Barnes.
Yeah.
You know, I will give their head coach a lot of credit, Kyle Williams. The guy is just an absolute dog of a coach. He gets shit done. He plays X's and O's game very well. Now, what I will say is more depressing than anything is Caleb Williams' stat line is a joke. No touchdowns in the air. Now, no interceptions.
Yeah.
But regardless, it's depressing.
This is getting to a point, and I'm not going to be a big hater on it because I do think it has a little to do with Lincoln Riley. I think it has a little bit to do with how the team is run, but do you think we were a little overdramatic about him as a people collectively? Granted, how he's played the last couple weeks.
Caleb?
Yes.
I believe that when you're playing very weak talent, you're going to look very good if you are this athletic. He plays backyard football, one could say, or playground
Hero
football.
ball.
Where he's always going to try and make a play. If the play breaks down, he's running. And he's trying to find open guys down the field.
Yeah.
Now, athletically, absolute freak. He reminds me a lot of, I guess a comp would be Justin Fields. Now, Justin Fields at the college level actually had timing. That kind of all went out the window once he got to the Bears because we may or may not have ruined him. Now, what I will say is this. A Lincoln Riley-led team is based off of, and usually has always been predicated off of, a great run game.
Yeah.
And right now, they are not running the ball half as much as they should. Marshawn Lloyd had 7 carries. Austin Jones had 5 carries the entirety of the game. And granted, they were down most of this game, but at the end of the day, you need to justify a running game in order to get the passing game moving.
Yeah.
And that's something they have failed to do 2 weeks in a row now when they've played real talent. A being Notre Dame, B being Utah. They are 0-3 in Utah in FBS competition, which is a fucking joke. One of those games was the Pac-12 championship. Now, moving forward, I have some big question marks on what USC will be the rest of the season, considering their schedule is not very much so in their favor.
No, they packed the hard teams up quick at the end here.
They stacked them all, and now they're in the just kind of goofy position where they may not win the Pac-12 at all. They may not even be competing for a Pac-12 bowl game or championship at this stage of the game.
We're going to be looking at that, the 2 of the last 3 weeks there with the Washington and Oregon.
Washington, Oregon. Look at the way Bo Nix is playing. Look at the way Michael Penix is playing.
Yeah.
It's truly outstanding.
Michael Penix looks so good.
But
so good.
The problem is this. Lincoln Riley, just you copy and paste him from OU, and it's the same fucking team.
Yeah.
You had Caleb at OU doing what he did there. No defense, no tackling. You're going to get in a absolute just dogfight every single game of who can score more points. And this weekend, 2 weeks in a row now, they didn't score more points. Now, if we also break this down with Lincoln Riley, and this was a fun stat that I thought I'd share on the show. So if we look at the 4-letter word of Clay, last name ending in Helton, who any USC fans, who's anybody.
Your favorite guy, Clay Helton.
Didn't like him.
Nope.
So Lincoln Riley now has coached a total of 25 games.
As a head coach?
No, my bad. 23 games.
Okay.
Through the first 23 games of his career, he's 17-5.
Yeah.
Right?
Pretty good.
Clay Helton's first 23 games?
Yeah.
You know what his record was?
A lot worse.
17-5.
Oh, no!
So if we're looking at this, he is not much better than what Clay Helton would be.
Really?
And this is not good.
Oh, my gosh. That's
this is
surprising.
This is not good if you're a USC fan. It's kind of like copy and paste, like I stated. And without Caleb Williams, I don't know what this team's going to look like. If you're Caleb Williams right now.
That's a worry. It's like, who's going to be playing quarterback for them next year? And is it going to be like this world beater guy that's going to just take them a couple
His name's Malachi Nelson,
right.
And he is arguably the best college quarterback prospect coming up next season, next to Arch Manning. And they redshirted last year, and I think, you get 2 years of redshirt eligibility?
Yeah, yep.
So he's 2 years now of being a redshirt, and next season will be his time to shine, considering Caleb leaves. Now, Caleb has recently come out and stated that the only way he'll play for certain NFL teams is if he gets a stake of ownership.
Yeah,
first
off, that's illegal. Can't do that.
Yeah.
Second off, not gonna fucking happen for any person ever getting drafted ever.
No.
What a stupid, stupid idea. Did the idea of we're gonna give you 2% of the Miami Dolphins to be on the Dolphins? They're like, fuck that. Mm-hmm. No way. And then like whoever's gonna draft him is gonna be like, we're gonna give you the rookie deal that's agreed upon through the entire NFL, and then nothing more because we don't have to. What are we talking about here? I saw that and I was like, this guy is the fucking worst. I'm starting to become like an actual hater of him. Because it's like, also do something a little bit, you know? Like, I know he's really good. But, like, what have they won?
Yeah, no.
Like, he might be too big for his britches right now.
I think he's definitely too big for his britches, and these past 2 games have definitely, I hope, humbled the young man.
Yeah.
And moving forward, I mean, is there a fart's chance in hell that he comes back after these last 2 performances? Because his window of being exposed for what he is.
He's out after this year. I guarantee it.
If the Bears have the first pick in the draft, do they draft him? Yeah. Or do you take Drake May?
No.
Who also lost on Saturday to fucking Virginia.
You take Caleb Williams and you ride with Caleb Williams. I don't think you can take Drake May. I mean, he's still an amazing talent. It's just like, what is that going to... What's he going to get drafted and try to pull an Eli Manning?
Who has a higher ceiling?
Drake May or Caleb Williams?
Yeah.
Caleb Williams right now. If you look at him, just talent-wise, there's a lot better pro comps for Caleb Williams.
Sure.
A lot of people are really high on Drake May. I think he's pretty good. I don't know if he's, like, amazing. But also, it's like... You'd rather have the guy with a little bit more athletic ability, the guy that's a little bit bigger, that can sling the ball. Like, I'm going to take that guy.
But Drake May is your more prototypical pocket passer, like a Trevor Lawrence would be, who's athletic enough, got the right size frame build.
Yeah, but, I mean, Caleb Williams' pro comp right now, the way he plays is closer to Patrick Mahomes than anybody, and that's kind of where the NFL's going.
Which I believe is something that coaching needs to get the hands around this young man in order to get him to the next point.
Which... any of the top tier or top drafted teams aren't going to have.
Yeah.
Mahomes got lucky that Andy Reid was at 10 that year.
12. They traded
12.
up to draft him at 12. Yeah, joke. But to that point, Drake May, this is crazy, lost to Virginia in the Saturday slot.
Maybe the worst team in the entire NCAA.
They're 2-5.
Yeah.
They clearly got a little big for their britches.
What the hell?
But Drake May, I mean, stat line 24 for 48. So he throwing the ball.
50% completion percentage is not the best thing.
Not the greatest. 2 TDs, 1 interception, not looking the greatest.
Yeah.
And then Tony Muskett, the quarterback for Virginia.
Cool ass name.
Which is the most Virginia ass name ever.
Exactly.
20 for 30, 208 yards, 1 tutty, 1 interception.
There you go. That'll win you a game, Virginia.
Yeah.
Crazy. Don't know how they ended up doing that.
Not a clue.
Can we talk about Penn State and Ohio State?
I felt bad for the quarterback at Penn State. I truly did.
I
felt bad for him.
That's a fickle little team there, Penn State. They're good. They're obviously good. Drew Alter, is that what you're saying?
Or Aller.
Sorry, Aller, no T. He couldn't complete a pass for the life of him.
18 for 42.
That's so bad.
Threw the ball 42 times.
That's so bad. He completed less than 20 of them. They couldn't really run much. On the other side of the ball, Ohio State didn't look very good either.
They looked a little bit better than Penn State. It was a defensive battle.
Hit so hard, and whoever bet the under, good for you. Good on you. Kyle McCord, okay. Every single time I watch him, okay. Well, even against Notre Dame, I'm like, okay. He does enough to win.
I mean, he's not supposed to be
the
next
world beater.
C.J. Stroud. He's not supposed to be the next Justin Fields even, which a lot of people could say Justin Fields, what he put on the field at Ohio State under that Ryan Day-led offense was better than what C.J. Stroud put on the field.
I would agree with that. Worst quarterback in the NFL, but better there.
Yeah, no, it's true. Another game that I want to talk about is how about the second half team Alabama is becoming? Yeah. Or becoming. They're always really good.
Such garbage, dude.
Jalen Milroe, man.
He's not that good. This is what I've been saying.
No, he runs a lot.
He can throw an absolute laser. Not the most accurate man in the world. He runs a lot. Supposedly their backup quarterback, the guy that's waiting in the wings right now, is supposed to come up and be pretty good. They should have won that game. That was horseshit. Absolute horseshit. Alabama ended up scoring 27 of their 34 points in the second half. Tennessee was up 20-7. And the minute that the second half switched, it was like everything changed. You get a Alabama fumble recovery. You get an Alabama turnover. Everything that they did ended up working out great. I was talking about Joe Milton. Excuse me. Sorry. I was talking about...
Are you talking about Joe Milton?
Joe Milton in Tennessee.
Your
Jalen
Tennessee
Milroe,
favorites.
JM. I'm sorry. Jalen Milroe was okay enough to get the job done. Nothing more than that. I really
Well,
don't. He's not that great.
If Alabama had like a J.J. McCarthy, if they had a guy.
Mac Jones.
Yeah, if they even had Mac Jones, they'd probably be better off right now.
Yeah.
Now, a game I think we need to shift to, and it definitely hurt his Heisman run, is the Michael Penix at Washington, who Washington barely beat. Barely.
Arizona State may be kind of a scary, weird team.
ASU might be coming up here if they get.
They did that to USC, too.
They did that to USC, even though USC just kind of pulled around the corner in the second half and really pulled away.
But still, like, weirdly competitive.
Do you understand that this game, if there is no 2-point try, A, and then B, pick six on the court of Washington's defense, this game is, it's a tie game going into the fourth quarter. It's pretty crazy. The Huskies scored 12 points in the fourth quarter and 3 points in the first three.
Yeah, I don't know. You play down to your opponents sometimes. That's probably where I want to go with this.
I will say Michael Penix Jr. needs to have a banger of a game coming up next week if he plans on staying in the Heisman race.
Yeah, for sure. Who's the leader of the Heisman right now?
Now it's got to be J.J. McCarthy because they put up 49 points on Michigan State. Like, they could have scored as many points as they wanted to. J.J. McCarthy, 21 for 27, 287 yards, 4 touchdowns.
You look at J.J. McCarthy last year, and he had a couple banger of games. Like, obviously, against OSU, it worked out well. I would not think that we would be talking about Heisman J.J. McCarthy this year. That would not have been a thought in my head last year, man. I
think when it's said and done, Michael Penix will be the guy. Just simply due to the fact that he had a bad, but he had a bad game, which I understand the Heisman race can do it. But J.J. McCarthy plays nobody, and not saying that.
God,
what is that? You got?
What was?
We had a little power surge
what
here.
What just happened? That was.
With
wild.
That being said, though. They may know that we're talking about him. Michigan knows, right? Michigan. Harbaugh is tapping into the Taxi Squad podcast right now.
To people, or not People's Gas. What is it? ComEd. It's like, hey guys, turn it down.
Turn them off. They're talking too much shit. But we will say though that J.J. McCarthy may have a run at this. Now, if we look at Michigan's opponents coming up, the hardest opponent they play all year is Ohio State.
Yeah, everything's garbage until they get to Ohio State. It's they're going to be 2 the rest of the year, I'd say. I don't know if they're going to be set up for success against a good team since they haven't played anybody worth a shit all year, but we'll see. That's a good way to pad up, having number 2 overall and having a Heisman candidate is not play anybody all year.
Yeah, you want to talk about playing down to your opponent. How about Texas? Doesn't matter who they play.
Yep.
They play down to their level of competition. They almost lost to Houston.
Yep.
Who Houston's 3-4 on the year, and Texas is 6-1 on the year.
Interstate competition, man. Interstate competition.
Battle for Texas.
And they lost their king, which is
Quinn Ewers. Yeah, he's hurt.
It's is it Arch Manning season? No one knows. Steve Sarkisian telling reporters that he's going to likely turn to Malik Murphy, redshirted freshman, but both of them will get extended snaps in practice this week. Arch Manning season? Back to the Manning bros?
I don't know. Can you trust anything that comes out of the booger eater's mouth?
Yes.
Do you? If those of you listening to this, if you didn't know, Steve Sarkisian did in fact eat a booger on live television.
We posted it on our Instagram and talked about it 3 times on this program.
when he was the OC at Alabama.
Yeah.
Just saying. I think Arch, they're going to hold on to him for next season. They don't want to potentially ruin him and hurt his confidence, and they'll just give it to the kid that they're like, yeah, we recruited you, and we'll give you a fair crack.
We don't know if we need you anymore. But it is sad. I like Quinn Ewers. I thought he was starting to put together a pretty good year. But they're also 7th, so they're in the middle of a battle right now. That could bring them to a pretty decent bowl game if they end up working everything out correctly. So
it's going to be Georgia or nothing this year. Let's face it.
I don't know.
Georgia or nothing.
They're a funny little team this year, man.
How about OU almost losing to UCF?
Yeah, they've had too many good wins. They almost lost that one. Oklahoma's been kind of a surprise team this year, and I feel
they're good.
I feel like the minute after last week, they were like, okay, whatever. We'll beat UCF, and it's...
Don't sleep on this Kansas game next weekend.
Yeah.
Don't sleep on the Kansas game on Saturday, simply due to the fact that Kansas plays OU historically very well. Same thing with K-State. They don't play teams in Kansas well, and they're playing in Kansas. Pay attention to that game. Kansas scores a lot of points, too. So if I'm a betting man, potentially looking at the over. Any other games we feel as if we need to cover from this prior Saturday, Vince?
I think we talked about the most. Maybe we'll touch on a couple games for next week, and then we'll get into mid-bowl.
Oh, I love it. I love it. All right. Who are we looking at for next week? What's our tail of the tape next week, Vince?
You got the California Bowl. USC, California. I think USC is going to bounce back and do all right in that game.
They have to. If they don't, it's going to be bad.
I think Tennessee, Kentucky might be fun. Because
Kentucky's good this year.
And Kentucky's got that weird little team going on. Duke, Louisville, okay, fun. Other than that, I mean, you think Notre Dame's going to take down Pitt pretty easily? You'd like to think. But Pitt, again, sometimes gets up for games like this.
How about James Madison at Old Dominion?
Dude.
That's my team right there.
James Madison, I feel bad that they can't play in a bowl game. I think that the rule is stupid that when you transfer to D1, you can't play in a bowl game for your first year. Like, if you're that good that you come up and you just start smoking dudes right off the bat, like, you should be able to play. Now, if you're jumping back and forth, and
it's
you
another
go
college
1-2,
basketball
1-2, like,
program that's usually good.
Yeah, and
How
I'm
about
all
that?
for it. Go JMU.
Dave, JMU is what's going on. Now, the battle for California is great. To me, the game of the weekend is Oregon and Utah at Utah. Afternoon docket game at 2:30 p.m. will be a battle. Bo Nix against a very good defense. We'll see. It's going to be I think, what top competition of this upcoming week, in my opinion.
Pac-12.
Pac-12, baby. Soon to be Big Ten. What you going to do about it?
Have a good end of your career, Pac-12.
Oh, and Air Force is currently ranked 19th, which who would have
Weird.
thought Air Force would be ranked 19th?
It's always
at this
weird
stage
when
of the game.
one of those like military teams end up getting in there. It's always weird.
You love to see it. Now,
Like
Washington plays Stanford, Pac-12 matchup.
Yeah.
This is a Michael Penix game where he needs to explode.
Yeah, and I think they will. But, mind you, Stanford playing pretty hardcore this year. They've had a couple wins in there that they snuck in.
Oh, they beat Colorado, and Colorado right now is kind of a mess.
But they came in and they played Colorado hard. And Colorado was on a heater at that point, too. So
It's true. Very true. Well,
maybe that's not the end of it.
No, definitely not the end of it. What I will say about these guys, though, is when it all breaks down, they need to... Oh, not the ad read yet. Never mind. Let's talk about some baseball, shall we?
No! Oh, what a fumble, dude. Oh, Lord. We don't do the ad read yet, dude. The people know.
Sometimes you think they're earlier than they are.
Baseball!
Baseball!
Dude, we have the World Series set right now. We're Arizona Diamondbacks versus the Texas Rangers. Did you have that on your bingo card this year?
Well, I guess...
Not at the beginning.
Not at the beginning.
Guaranteed you didn't.
Mountain Mike, who recently became Mountain Mike, moving to Arizona, back to Chicago for the second time in almost 2 months. But what I will say is that this is something that maybe I'm a good luck charm. I don't know. If the D-backs are listening to this, hey, get the taxi squad to the game.
Here's the argument to that. You're a good luck charm when you go there, but you're not a good luck charm when you're here.
I mean, I've lived here my whole fucking life. What do you want from me?
I'm with you. And what have the White Sox done?
I mean, they won a World Series in 2005. I was 13 years old.
Yeah, there you go. I mean, yeah.
What?
And then now you're fucking 85 years later, and you're...
I'm 32 years old, Vince. Eat a dick. All right, for the record, I will say this, though. The Diamondbacks played a great series, and I did call on this podcast last week that both series would run 7. Vince is like, Houston in 6.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, you did.
I did not. I would have never taken Houston. No shot. I fucking hate the Houston.
Why are you trying to play me like some kind of sucker dog?
I would never have taken Houston. I said that Houston doesn't get swept initially, is what we said at the beginning of that.
I was hoping they got swept.
I was hoping they were too, and they didn't, which never happens.
No, fucking hate them.
I wanted Texas to win. I'm happy that they did. I wanted Philadelphia to win. We did have Team of Destiny conversations last week. That went poorly, but it's okay. But both 2 Game 7. One of them was a sweat out. The other one was a, oh, shit. Like, it's over before it started almost.
I will say this fun fact about Rangers' absolute stud of a right fielder, Dallas Garcia. He was traded to the Texas Rangers organization from the St. Louis Cardinals organization for cash considerations.
He was also sent down by the Rangers, cleared waivers, got picked back up on a minor league deal, and then brought up and then wins an ALCS. If Adolis Garcia played a full season like he played in the ALCS, which he did win ALCS MVP, his numbers would be a 357 average, a 400 OBP, a new single-season record 893 slugging, another new single-season record 116 home runs, and another new single-season record 347 RBIs. The guy was unstoppable. The minute he gets up to at-bat, it's like it's already over before it ended. The Astros got so mad they literally cleared the benches and started fighting these motherfuckers. It was awesome, especially in that last game when they go up fucking. I mean, what they scored? 2 or 3 in the first, and then it was just 1, 4, 2, 1, 11 overall runs, 4 for the Astros. I think the biggest takeaway from this whole series is the Astros pitching did not do what they usually do.
I believe that they're starting to age out.
A little bit.
It's a lot of old guys on that team between Altuve, Valdez, Bregman, Verlander. There's a lot here of aging talent on this roster that I think they're going to have to recoup. Now, Mike Pena did shit this entire series. He played like absolute horse shit.
Yeah.
Correa probably would have been better for that.
And mind you, Jeremy Pena, last year's ALCS MVP and World Series MVP. So,
tale of 2 years,
true.
Right? So last year was his year to shine. This year he didn't show up when the lights were the brightest. Now, what I will say, the Diamondbacks winning 2 in a row in Philly, truly impressive.
At Citizens Bank, I thought it was over before it ended. I thought the Arizona Diamondbacks were way too young to be winning games like this. I thought Philly had the dogs. Philly had the fans. I thought there was no way in hell that the Diamondbacks win this series, let alone bring it to 7 games. When they brought it to 7 games, I thought, oh, fuck. This is like the Eagles. This is like the Phillies last year. This is like the Philadelphia Union last year, losing the championship. I'm like,
Philadelphia Union? What the fuck are you doing?
That's the MLS team that also lost the championship last year.
Well, yeah, we did talk about this.
Every single team lost the championship last year. The minute that the Arizona Diamondbacks brought the Phillies to Game 7, I was like, holy shit. And the best thing to come out of this whole thing is that Mad Dog Russo said.
We hate that guy.
He said.
Dislike greatly.
I don't like him at all. He said that if the Diamondbacks were to win Game 7 and close out this series, that he would retire.
Well, put your money where your mouth is, cuzzy.
Retire, Chris. Retire. We're sick.
He's also the same guy who talks about like his college football Saturdays, how he like takes 2 edibles and 2 cocktails.
Yeah.
And like bakes out on his couch and bets like 10 grand on a random Saturday because he can. I mean, at that point, just go live a good D-Gen life, you know? That's all I got.
That's kind of chill, though.
Oh, it's kind of awesome. Like, I'm not mad about it for
chill,
him.
Though.
Now, what I will say is this Corbin Carroll has arrived this kid.
Okay.
I mean, truly one of the best outfield talents in all
Speed
of Major
demon,
League Baseball.
Plus hitter, monster. He did not play well in the division series. They won it in spite of him almost. He comes into the CS and he's like, this is my fucking time to shine. Especially yesterday. In the bright lights, in Citizens Bank Park, he did just about everything to win Diamondbacks that game.
What's great to me about this team, it's kind of, there's no real megastar other than Corbin Carroll.
Yeah.
And he's become a megastar. And this team has come together, and there's a good mix of young and old, and the pitching has been lights out. Now, mind you, in July, they lost 7 games in a row shortly before the All-Star break.
Yep.
And then in August also had a slump where they were initially winning the division against the Dodgers, and then the Dodgers go on their heater, and then they got fucked up.
Everybody just forgot about the Diamondbacks at that point. Diamondbacks sneak in that little wild card. 2 wild card teams, by the way, going to the World Series. the Astros won the AL West, and obviously the Dodgers won the NL West. So West Side matchup right now. Also, Lourdes Gurriel, congratulations. Evan Longoria, welcome fucking back.
You gotta love it.
Wow. 2008, I think it's the last time he was in the...
Tampa.
It might have been the last time, because I don't think he ever made it with San Francisco.
No, they never made it.
Tommy Pham, random appearance. He's been on a bunch of teams right after they win one, so it's fun. It's a cool thing. Brandon Fad, whatever his fucking name is. I can't say it.
Fad.
He put on a pitching carousel yesterday. I like that pitching. I like the team. I like the pitching staff on that team. I think it's so weird that this is the matchup. This is not at all what I've expected, but I am really excited to watch this, and I don't know if I have rooting interest.
I have rooting interest simply
You
due to
do.
the fact that I moved to Arizona, and I'm kind of thinking it's cool. Now, don't get me wrong. It's not like the White Sox making the World Series.
Not
There's
close.
no, there would be like real grown man tears there. With all that, though, it's still exciting to be a part of a run. This team feels an awful lot like the 2005 White Sox, though.
2 apiece. Yep.
Because
Young.
it was kind of a team of misfits. Young, wasn't anybody on the team who was a major talent yet. Now, mind you, after 2005, it wasn't very good. We then...
Well, 08, good year.
08 was a good year, but then we haven't had many good years.
No, not since then.
Now, to bring this to the Phillies now, I mean, is it safe to say the Phillies is just kind of a team of one-trick ponies?
Lots of home runs.
If they can't produce runs from home runs, then they can't produce runs.
Yeah, that was what happened. It seemed like all of that luck started washed off. Bryce Harper, not great in that Game 7 matchup.
0 for 4.
Yeah, to go along with it, you get Castellanos putting up an 0 for as well. It's not going to work out that way.
In the beginning of the series, though, that wasn't the case. They were destroying the baseball.
Yep. And they were barreling everything and against the better pitcher, some would say, on that team.
Gallon.
You end up running into a couple runs here or there. 4-2 final. It's not like any of the pitching was absolutely brutal. 5-1 in Game 6, not the best. 6-1 Game 5, where the Phillies ended up winning that shit. Like, this Game 6 and Game 7 for the ALCS was just absolute torque. Like, the Rangers scored 9 in Game 6, and they scored 11 in Game 7. Not the case in the Phillies-Diamondbacks matchup. So, yeah, I don't know. You got a team full of guys that are getting a little older. I know Bryce Harper really wants to win a championship. I would not be surprised to see them back here next year. But where does that pitching go? And also, Craig Kimbrell.
He sucks.
He's the goddamn reason that they lost that series.
You think so? We're going to put it on one guy?
He blew 2 saves.
But we're going to put it on one
He
guy?
blew 2 saves, and one of them was a clinching game. What are we doing?
All right.
Trash.
I understand, but we can't put it all on one guy.
Game
Craig Kimbrell is notably
Ninth
trash
inning.
in the playoffs when he was on the White Sox.
9th inning.
When he was on the Red Sox.
Close it out.
Actually, when he was on the Red Sox, he was still actually really good and did help them get over the hump and win the World Series.
Yeah, he did
Yeah.
blow a save in that series too, though.
Well, okay. But we do also have to understand that last night in the 8th inning, the Phillies had the bases loaded.
Yep.
And the top of the lineup up, down 2 runs.
Yep.
Trey Turner strikes out. Bryce Harper strikes out. Castellanos strikes out. What?
You're supposed to be veterans. You're supposed to be able to do it.
I'm just saying. And
Yeah.
they were swinging at piss, too.
Yeah.
Not working counts. Not doing what they needed to do to help get their team over the hump and be patient when it mattered most in a series. And that's fine if we're going to put it on Craig Kimbrell, but I disagree. You play as a team, you win as a team,
you can put 50% on
you
them.
lose as a team.
They're not playing in that game if Craig Kimbrell closes the game out. And we know how much you hate about blown saves by closers.
That
you know
floppy, floppy piece of
I don't
shit.
feel the same that you do, obviously, but Craig Kimbrell, they bring him in
Do you
for
think
a
if
reason.
Liam Hendricks closed the game, they would be
Done.
better?
Fucking ice in his veins. Done. Finished.
Ice in his veins.
Easy. Done.
He loses to the Detroit Tigers on
Done.
a random July evening.
Finished. Done. Easy.
Yeah?
Better than Craig Kimbrell, man.
I disagree. I'm not saying one's better than the other. I'm just saying you can't put it all on the ponytail.
I'm not going to put all of it on them, but I will put a solid amount of the blame because they wouldn't have had to play in that game.
Did you see Craig Kimbrell's dad? They showed Craig Kimbrell's dad. He
No.
looked like a fucking pirate.
Oh,
Like he's like heavily bearded ponytail.
What a boss.
I guess something like that. He kind of looked like a grown man, Grandpa Doobie brother.
I didn't see him, but I like it.
Yeah. But all right. So way too early predictions.
Yep.
We got the Angels.
Angels. No, we don't. They won't even sniff that shit.
We got the Arizona Diamondbacks.
Yeah.
We got the Texas Rangers. Series starts on
Friday.
Friday.
Yep.
In Texas. Who you got?
Rangers at home. Rangers with more fans. Rangers with more veterans in the prime of their careers. Pitching is probably a toss-up on both ends. I'd probably take Arizona on the pitching. I'll take Texas in 6.
You're going Texas in 6.
Yeah.
Give me the Snakes in 7. Let's go.
Heyo.
Hiss, motherfucker.
Snakes win the World Series away from their home ballpark.
Hey,
But again,
they did it in one of the most crazy environments.
Yeah.
And the Rangers, I'm sorry, they just don't have a fan base.
the Diamondbacks don't have a fan base.
They both really don't have fucking fan
that's
bases.
like their rankings are not going to be great, but like I don't think we can use.
Mind
either
you,
of those.
tickets to the AL NLCS in Arizona, day of the game, $60.
Oh, that's so stupid.
If I am home to witness a World Series game,
Dude, go.
I'm probably going.
Please.
There's no doubt
go
about
live.
it. Gonna go see the Snakes live.
You should.
Yeah. Fun fact about the ballpark, Chase Field, it has a bar underneath home plate.
And a pool.
And it does have a pool, although tickets to swim in the fucking pool are like $1,000.
Yeah, for sure.
What would kind of be cool if they won it in 5
Yeah.
and then all swam in the pool,
That would be awesome.
right?
You want to see a team win at home. That's really what
I guess my only reason that I don't want to see Texas win this is because across the street is the Cowboys Stadium, and they share like a complex with it. And
Oh,
I
I
hate
too.
the fucking Cowboys.
Yeah, me too.
I'm not a Cowboy
But
fan.
still, do it for Semien. Seager's fun. Like, I like that team.
I
think
guess
it'd be
White Sox great. Simeon.
Marcus Semien.
Marcus-
White Sox great. Dane Dunning.
It's kind of the White Sox in a way.
A little bit.
Maybe Vince and I have to be Rangers fans.
Maybe.
now.
I'm going
And
for him.
Nathan Eovaldi. I mean, he's also very good in the playoffs.
Okay.
Lights out.
Why does he keep jumping from teams?
I don't get it.
Why don't people
Boston
just
let him
sign him
rock.
long term? Dude, he's always nails in the playoffs. Always.
If you know you're about to make it in the playoffs,
Get Nathan Eovaldi.
get Nathan Eovaldi.
You'll go to the World Series. I'm sorry. You will.
Let me ask you this. Do you think if the Phillies were a little bit more hydrated, they would have potentially got over the hump?
Does hydration change how often you swing at balls?
It very well could. If you are dehydrated, you're probably not seeing the
That'd
ball
be
as
some
well.
good research. I'd like to know that. But if that's the case, then absolutely, Mike.
Okay. Well, all that being said, if they were to be hydrated, they should have been hydrated with our great friends at Liquid IV.
This portion of today's show is brought to you by Liquid IV. That's right, the hydration brand we've all come to know and love is with ya boys. It's festival, outdoor party, and adventure season, and proper hydration is essential. You don't want to miss out on the summertime activities while they're still here. Liquid IV will help you hydrate and stay in the game. I've been using Liquid IV for a few years, and I found a ton of uses for it. Going to sleep after a day-long soiree. This is the product that helps me rehydrate and recover. I brought them with me on hikes, long bike rides, vacations, and maybe most importantly, bachelor party weekends. The beauty of it all is that Liquid IV comes in a small, convenient package that you just add to a bottle of water and drink away. 1 stick of Liquid IV and 16 ounces of water hydrates you 2 times faster and more efficiently than water alone. Get 20% off when you go to liquidiv.com and use the Taxi Squad podcast code. TAXISQUADPODCAST, no spaces, at checkout. That's 20% off anything you order when you shop Better Hydration today using the promo code Taxi Squad podcast at liquidiv.com. NFL Week 8.
Bears
Bears.
Bears.
Stop Bears.
We're not singing songs this week.
Bears.
We don't want to burn that out. We got to just sprinkle it in
We're
every
just,
now
we're
and
just
again.
giving you some songs sometimes.
We give you some songs on the times.
Should we just get it rolling? Should we just go right into the games, Mike?
Go right into the games,
we
or should we
talk
talk, or should we just talk about our real savior in this town really fast before we
The
kick off?
Bagnet Magnet?
The Bagnet Magnet.
I like it.
I love
yeah.
him.
Yeah, sound off. Go ahead.
All right. First and foremost, we've been talking about this guy since the beginning of the season.
Yep.
His dad, professional arm wrestler.
Dog.
Maybe a legend. Was in the movie Over the Top with Stallone.
Yep.
Great film.
Great film.
I mean, the premise of that film's so fucking stupid. He's
Yeah.
like an over-the-road truck driver. Robert Loggia is in that film as well. But, man, the Bears. I mean, Tyson Bagent, is he our Tom Brady, Vince?
No.
Come on.
Chill out. I think
Bears
everybody
corner.
needs to chill out. This is the most we could have done this year for sure. 21 for 29, 162, one touchdown. Game managed really well.
Looked well.
He got the ball out fast, which is good. He did all the things that people want Justin Fields to do, but he has none of the ability that Justin Fields has, which is the difficult combination between the two. I think he played the game really well, and I also think that we were playing the sad sack of the Las Vegas Raiders, and I think they suck so bad.
Hey, they beat the Patriots the week before.
Yeah.
You think if Jimmy G's in this game, they
You
win?
think the Patriots are good?
I mean, they beat the Bills.
This week, yeah. But
Just
this
saying.
year,
Any given Sunday, cuz.
No, and that was interdivision. It's a whole different conversation because it's like the Raiders aren't good. Brian Hoyer isn't good. I think that's obvious off the bat. I think that the Bears also aren't good. I think Donta Foreman, congratulations on getting in. I was saying this at the beginning of the year. I think he's pretty fucking good, and I don't know why we don't play this motherfucker more. Weird that we don't. Tyson Bagent, good game. Good game. Comes from Shepherd, D2. He's the only D2 player in the entire NFL. There's more D3 guys than D2 guys.
He also
in the
broke
NFL.
a record at that D2 school for
Yes,
most
he
passing
did,
yards in the
for
season.
Shepherd. They played School of Mines. That was the last game he played. The last game that
Don't
he
hate on
won,
the academics.
the last game that he won was against the School of Mines, and then now he just beat the Las Vegas Raiders, being the starting quarterback of Chicago
Honestly, though, who we should really give the game ball to for this game, granted, everybody wants to crown Tyson Bagent as our Lord and Savior.
Yeah.
But the offensive line was nothing to fuck with on Sunday.
Yeah.
And Ryan Poles may have whiffed on some picks in the past draft, but whoa.
One of them he did not.
Darnold, Darnold Wright is an absolute freak.
He
dominated Max Crosby.
Shut
all
him
day.
down. And Max Crosby might be the best defensive end in the league.
He's a freak.
Yeah.
The man is a legitimate freak, and he shut him down. And he looked like all the things that you wanted when you drafted him. He had a couple slow games there to start the season, but I think we might have a legitimate left tackle on our hands.
I agree with you. I think everything went really well for them. I think this might have been the worst thing possible to happen to the Bears because now it's like our backup's good again, which is the Chicago. This is the worst thing to happen in Chicago. Every time it happens in Chicago, it
Gives us a shred of fucking hope.
I know, but then it's like the back quarterback's better than the starter. It's like he's not better than Justin Fields. I really don't believe that.
I mean, everybody thought Tom Brady wasn't better than Drew Bledsoe, but we all know how that ended.
Yeah, and that's happened so many times.
Once in 100 years.
One time that's happened.
Steve Young?
Yeah, but was he better than Joe Montana?
Maybe.
I mean, Joe Montana brought the fucking Chiefs to the Super Bowl, didn't he?
No.
I thought they lost it, but I thought they went, no? Or did they go to the AFC Championship? Either way, he was
Joe
still
Montana.
good. Yeah, I think it was fun. I think it was good. I think it was a fun win. I was excited watching it. I would like to see him play again if Justin Fields already isn't playing next week, so he's playing again. That's already been announced. So
It's Bagnet season, baby.
get him in there, see what he does again. He knows the playbook. He was very well prepared. I was very happy watching him play, but I'm not going to crown him God. That's all it is. I still think that Justin Fields is starting quarterback at this team. I'd love to have a really good backup just in case that were to happen. That's kind of where I'm at. And I think that he also parsed him out a nice little NFL career just by playing well one time.
And the defense looked like a Bears defense,
Yeah.
which was amazing. And Tremaine Edmonds is an absolute dog.
With the caveat that they played the Las Vegas
6
Raiders.
tackles, 2 assists, 1 interception.
Yeah.
Now, the thing I'm not a big fan of right now, Jalen Johnson, Bears cornerback, has recently come out and stated he deserves to get paid. Even though the first 2 of his 4 career interceptions were on Sunday against Brian Hoyer.
Yeah, and that was like I want to show him that I'm trying to get paid. It's like you got to do a little more. And I think Jalen Johnson's a talented player, but I'm not going to, crown him as the next Champ Bailey or anything crazy like that.
That's a name.
Champ Bailey's a dog.
Champ Bailey, Ty Law, come on now.
Maybe best quarterback of all time. That could be a whole conversation.
Ty Law, dude.
Yeah. Best corner, though?
Ty Law was an absolute freak for the Patriots.
We can have that argument in the offseason for sure.
How about Troy Brown? He played both ways.
True.
Everybody wants to make Travis Hunter out to be like...
Everybody wants to make Deion Sanders out to be a dog, too.
Well, Deion Sanders, arguably. I mean, shut down, but then again, come on.
Yeah.
Generations.
2-5. Still got a high draft pick on our picks. Still number
suck.
1 overall because of Carolina. I don't think we're going to go to a playoff just because Tyson Bagent has been good.
Yeah.
But come back out there and play again and make me think about it again, dude. I'm happy to have that happen.
Hey, Bears got a primetime game on Sunday,
right.
7:20 against the Chargers. Khalil Mack-led Chargers.
What a fucking stupid matchup. What a stupid matchup.
We'll get into it. We just had to talk about the Bagnet season, the Bagnet Magnet. Justin Fields will probably come back whenever it's
2 weeks.
I think it's going to be more leaning on the side of 4 because at this stage of the game, would you much rather them just tank the rest of the season, get a high draft pick, and move on with their lives?
Like, what are you rushing them back for?
That's kind of where I'm at with this whole thing.
I agree. There's the Bears. That's the Bears. Bears.
That's all we got on the Bears.
Good week. We both took them. We both got it. Thank you.
Although we were hoping that we would lose if we took them because the last time we took them.
Right. That was the exact thought, and that's the sad fucking part about being a Bears fan. Yes. All right. We're going to go into our favorite segment, Mike. It's aptly named Skip It or a Rip It. And we're going to start off with the Jaguars and the Saints. Skip it or rip it? Rip it.
Rip it.
I'm going to say rip it because Derek Carr is bad.
I don't think he's that bad.
I think he's pretty fucking bad.
Or is his tight end really bad who dropped the game-winning touchdown pass in the back of the end zone?
Very true.
Looking like my brother out there with fucking stone hands.
I also don't think that the Jaguars are very good, but they are 5-2. A fun little matchup, but I just don't care for Derek Carr.
I thought you were like the biggest Derek Carr fan ever.
I liked him.
You chose them to win the NFC South.
Yes, for sure, which is still possible. Still very possible. Who else is going to win? Tampa Bay?
Maybe. Falcons?
Oh, that's actually true. Fucking Ritter season.
Maybe.
I still think they can win that division because it's just a sad sack of a division. Alvin Kamara, good game. Congratulations. 12 receptions, 91 yards.
Yeah, great game.
Every single play Derek Carr did was a dump off to Alvin Kamara, which is kind of an issue where I'm like, these other guys aren't playing that well. Chris Olave just got arrested yesterday.
Yeah, because he was driving too fast.
And he said, "Hey, man, I'm on the Saints." And the cop was like, "Okay," and I was like, "Good."
Inside he was just like, "Dick."
Yeah, he's like, "I'm a Hall of Fame football person."
I am the same. But a lot of people are like, "What's looking wrong with Chris Olave this week?" Well, came to find out, motherfucker got arrested.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's kind of all I wanted to say. I think the Jaguars are using Christian Kirk properly now, and I think that Etienne is also a dog, even though that wasn't his best game in the world.
Trevor Lawrence, a lot of people had questions whether or not he was going to start the game. Wound up starting the game and looked fantastic. Stat line wasn't the greatest thing in the world, 20 for 29, 204 yards, 1 passing touchdown. Etienne just really gets done on the ground, and especially in the goal line. Christian Kirk, though, man, I mean, the yak on that guy, just truly impressive.
Yeah, that's his bread and butter.
And did we overvalue Calvin Ridley this season? I think we did. 1 reception, 5 yards.
Lots of time left in the season. He's had a couple good games. I think he's going to be useful coming down the line, especially when they make it to the playoffs, because they will be doing that this year.
Well, we'll see.
Moving on, Falcons at Bucks. Skip it or rip it?
What a snooze of
I want to skip that.
Yeah, I could skip it.
Ritter, whatever. Bears, Raiders, we already talked about. Browns at Colts. Skip it or rip it?
I think we got to rip this one just due to the atrocity of the NFL refs. Wow, they gave this game to the Browns.
Yeah. That being said, though, P.J. Walker might be better than Deshaun Watson.
Get it right. Philip Walker. His name's Philip.
P.J.
Philip. Good old Philly boy.
Yeah, they do Philip in the
Philip Walker.
in the score breakdowns on all these things.
So, okay. Deshaun Watson, concussion protocol for the past couple weeks.
Yeah.
Then comes back, re-aggravates it. They claim
He said he didn't want to come back. Came back anyway.
$230 million.
Yeah. Cleveland Browns.
I mean, they couldn't get it right if they tried.
Cleveland Browns. I feel bad for the Browns. They make the Bears look somewhat reasonable, which is sad. It's the Browns. What do you want to say?
Defense looks good.
Yeah,
I
the
would
defense
say
is
that
great. The
even-
defense might be the best defense in the league, truly.
Even though they gave up
38 to fucking Gardner Minshew, I get it.
Yeah.
But before this, the last couple of games, they are 4-2. They are playing well. They are fighting for the division, obviously. 38 to Gardner Minshew and co. isn't probably the best thing that you want to do. Gardner Minshew is fun to watch. It's really fun to watch.
Jonathan Taylor might be back. 18 carries, 75 yards, 4 yards per carry on average.
Everybody looks so bad in those jerseys, though.
Those jerseys, I thought they were dope.
The black helmet and the black pants.
I thought it was dope.
No, trash. For the Colts, trash.
I kind of thought it was dope.
Garbage. Where does the black come from? It's not in any of their other stuff.
I don't know. They're a horse, technically, aren't
Garbage. Well, you want to watch the Bears in an orange jersey and black pants?
Well, that technically would be orange and navy blue. I think that would be pretty fucking
Maybe
cool.
orange and black, because when has the black ever made it into Indianapolis Colts?
I don't know. Where does the white come in either, you know?
That's in their logo.
Yeah, but they just
And
did it
every
change.
other jersey, it's just the black is fucking weird. I hate it. I don't like it at
You
all.
hate it. See, I thought it was cool.
I don't like it at
Vince
all.
and I have some points of conflict this week between his hate of a White Sox legend.
Who? Craig Kimbrell?
His hate of the White Sox legend, also known
Pass.
as Craig Kimbrell. White
Yeah.
Sox in 5, by the way. Yeah, I thought this game, I mean, wow. The refs really gave this game to the Browns
Yeah.
at the end of it with this PI call that was just horrific.
Yeah.
And I think the Colts rightfully should have won that game. And then Jim Irsay actually came out after the game and said the NFL officiating commission basically said they fucked up on multiple calls.
I mean, they do that after. They do that whole, what do you call it? It's like they do a whole review and they put out an officiating report after it. And I'm like, how accurate were the calls? Was it actually a call? Nope. That was
Game got a D
Sorry.
in that grade column.
Sorry, guys. But yeah, I mean, that's going to happen from time to time. I don't think this messed up any playoff implications, but it does stink if you're a Colts fan.
I'd say the rest.
Should we move on?
Skip it or rip it.
Commanders at Giants. I'm going to say rip it for one reason. And that is because, or actually two reasons. Tyrod Taylor might be better than Daniel Jones. The second thing I want to say is there was a clip from the Herd that came out, and we know that I fucking hate the Herd. Colin Cowherd.
Best thing to ever come out of the Herd. Come on now. You know the best thing to ever come out of that show.
Live.
Ugh.
Yeah. Yeah. Not horny, just obvious.
Miss Taylor.
They said that they were sorry, it's insane to me. They were like, Tyrod Taylor, is he better than Daniel Jones? And they're like, we're rooting for the young quarterback. Tyrod Taylor's 32 years old.
Tyrod Taylor.
They said they're rooting for the young quarterback, even though Daniel Jones is younger than Tyrod Taylor.
And Daniel Jones is not injured right now.
Right.
I mean, he just got benched.
Yeah.
And after that Seahawks
Well, he was
game,
injured, though. He was injured previous.
Okay.
But, like, I guess, I don't know. Maybe they can have an argument against that. But just the fact that they said that they're rooting for the young quarterback, not knowing that he's older than the majority of the quarterbacks in the NFL, is the most Colin Cowherd shit ever. It's the most that. I mean, they did the same thing with the fucking officiating before. It's just like, what are we doing? No sports before you talk about them. How is this guy still on the airwaves? It's insane. It's all
Yeah, he should just pull. He should just pull off
a
and
mad
just,
dog.
Yeah, he should just pull a mad dog, and either that or just start talking politics, which is most of what these guys do anymore.
Yeah, go follow that one guy
Yeah.
that was on ESPN for a while.
Trade some draft picks in the MLB. Now, the real story from this game was after the game when Jonathan Allen, absolute freak of a defensive tackle for the Commies, came out after the game and said he was sick of this shit. He's been losing for 7 years. And he's just sick of it. He said he's fucking sick of it. Verbatim, fucking sick of it. Now, mind you, if you're a reporter This man was wearing a do-rag,
Yep.
aviators, a chain,
Yeah.
and AirPods fully in. That man wanted to talk some shit. That man was bringing violence.
Yep.
That's all I got to say.
He was
about
like, if
that.
you want to interview me, I'm going to give you some real shit. And that's
Bears-
all I'm going to give you.
Bears should trade for him.
Being a Commanders fan is being a Bears fan. Same shit.
Yeah, I mean,
Every
and they
year
could
all the
change their name back to the Redskins. There is actually thoughts that could happen.
Well, that or they're just going to change the name in general because Commanders is a stupid name for a football team.
Yeah.
Change to the Hogs. Embrace the past.
Embrace the Hogs.
Embrace the Hogs.
We want the Hogs because we just want to. That's all we want to do.
Lions at Ravens. Skip it, rip it.
Oh, we got to rip this one.
Yes.
Because I got to rip Vince.
Whoa.
Told you the fucking Ravens were good.
I know, but not like this, dude.
Lions got
What
exposed.
the fuck?
Got
And,
exposed.
Danny Campbell came out and he said, this just isn't our team. And I'm like, yeah, that's kind of what you have to say when you end up losing by fucking 32 points. Lamar Jackson had an absolute heater of a first half and didn't have to do shit for the rest of the game, honestly. Yeah, Goff tried to throw in the ball. It didn't work out. That Ravens defense was really good. Their offense was even better. It's kind of like one of those, like, chalk it up as just a big dub for the Ravens, and then hopefully the Lions can just block this out from their memory completely. I think that's all that they can do right now.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that statement. I think the Lions just need to take this one on the chin and keep it moving.
38-6.
Odell had a fairly decent game. Looks like he's about to make a small comeback. We'll see. We'll
Whatever.
see. We'll see. I definitely
Until
do
he gets
believe,
injured
though,
again.
kind of the Harbaugh effect because he coaches very well against good teams. So shout out to the Ravens.
38-6, man. Holy shit.
For the record, I did choose the Ravens.
You did.
And I won this week.
You did, but I thought it was going to be like maybe a touchdown either way, but that is not the case.
No way,
this week.
Jose.
Okay, moving on. Bills at Patriots.
Oh, we got to rip it.
I know.
Got to rip it.
What the fuck, man?
We both took the Bills, but they're the most confusing team in the NFL.
What's going on?
I have no idea. They're the most confusing team in the NFL.
Are they good? Are they not? They beat good teams. They lose to bad teams. The Patriots are still a bad team. I want to make that clear.
Hey,
Mac Jones
Max
looked
season,
he looked
baby.
like a
He's
world
coming
beater.
back. He's coming back.
Kendrick Bourne's starting to get a lot of catches in that offense. It seems like he's going to be Mac Jones' guy to go to for the rest of the year here, but the Bills are just confusing.
They're very confusing. They don't play, to your point, they don't play well against really good teams, but
They don't play well against really bad teams.
No, yeah.
They play really
My bad.
well
That
against
one.
really good teams. Yeah.
that one.
Yeah. Let James Cook, 13 carries, 56 yards. Can't get the run game going. Dalton Kincaid leading the team in reception yards. Probably not the best thing that you want to do either, especially when you have a Gabe Davis and Stephon Diggs in the game.
Who's now, by the way, Dalton Kincaid going to be the starting tight end since Dawson Knox is down for a few weeks.
Yep. They should be running 2 tight end sets for the rest of the eternity. I don't get it.
Is losing Dayball maybe the demise of Josh Allen's career?
It's been a whole year since then. They were pretty
Yeah,
good
but
last year.
look at Josh Allen's numbers since he left. They're dog shit.
Could be. They might have got to switch some stuff around in the offense because this is not a Super Bowl winning team, and this is what they wanted to be going into the season.
Ken Dorsey may not be the guy, even though Ken Dorsey was a dog at Miami. But that doesn't necessarily make him a tremendous OC.
Doesn't always work that way.
It does not.
So Patriots, I guess, congrats on that win. I don't see that happening next
Mike
week.
Gesicki with his horrible gritty.
He's obsessed with that shit. Cardinals at Seahawks.
I could skip this
I
one.
can skip it too. It's kind of like, okay.
Oh, I do want to give
Gino
props. I want to give props to one guy just simply due to his name being absolutely fan-flipping-tastic, and that is Jake Bobo.
Yes. Hilarious.
Jake Bobo is a
What a
white
name.
kid, and Jake Bobo had one of arguably the best catches of the weekend. Toe drag swag,
Yep.
back of the end zone. Everybody thought it was an incomplete pass. They went and back, looked at the tape, touchdown.
That being said, too, JSN, best game of the year.
Yeah.
Jackson Smith and Jigba, welcome to the NFL.
Welcome to the NFL. First tutty.
Okay, moving on from that game that was kind of like whatever. Steelers at Rams. Whatever.
On an underwhelming week, I could skip
The
it.
Steelers keep winning, and they're just a tired-looking, weird offense, and they keep winning. So good for them.
Kenny Pickett.
Chargers at Chiefs. I'm kind of feel the same way.
Hey.
Taylor was there.
Taylor was there again, and if I have to hear it one more fucking
Shut up!
time.
Shut up!
No, I will say this much. When she's at the games, Travis Kelce plays really good.
Yeah. Yeah, Travis Kelce's like a really good tight end. I don't know if anybody knew it.
Yeah, no way.
He has one of these games every year where it's like the beginning of the year happens. It's like, oh, is he getting away from Travis Kelce? They bring back Mecole Hardman too. Mecole Hardman looks like exactly what he was before he left the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Insane. This is just a team that's going to consistently be good forever. I heard a couple comps on like the old Patriots where they can just bring back old guys that they had when they failed elsewhere, and then they're just going to be right back to being good again.
Well, Mecole Hardman was just a nice piece in that offense.
Yeah.
He wasn't anything that was crazy. He had
But
great
he was
games,
always
but it
pretty
was-
good on the Chiefs, and then he leaves to get a bigger role, and it's like, I don't know if it's going to work out. And then he comes back to the Chiefs, and he has a perfect role again. So,
Well, Andy Reid, right? Andy Reid. I will say this. I'm just stop making it seem as if that Travis Kelce wasn't good before he started dating Taylor Swift.
yeah.
All right. All I got to say
Nobody that
about
listens
that.
to this is going to believe that anyway, though.
Yeah, true. He could be a Hall of Famer if he retired tomorrow.
He already is, yeah.
Fun fact. All right, so let's talk about the Packers and Broncos.
Packers suck.
Yeah, Jordan Love's not very good. We thought he was really good the week one,
Whoa,
but
whoa.
yeah, he's not good. And
They suck,
after
man.
they got some film on him, they realized what he doesn't do well.
Yeah.
And I think they just have to really understand that he's not it.
No.
You got to go back to the drawing board. No.
That being said, I mean, the Bears did lose to the Broncos as well, but this almost felt like worse because it was just neither team can do shit. Russell Wilson still sucks, and
Still not good.
The Packers suck, which is cool.
Which is good.
I like it, dude.
NFC North, not necessarily all for the Lions quite yet.
Vikings or Lions, I guess.
Bears.
2 more games, Dolphins and Eagles.
Got to rip it.
Gotta rip it.
Vince chose the Dolphins in this game. What was he thinking?
This was a litmus test for, can the Dolphins beat a good team?
Nope.
No. And what does that mean moving forward? They're really good against bad teams and really bad against good teams. Is that just going to be they're going to be really good until they get to the playoffs and get their ass smoked?
Is this just the tale of the AFC East? I don't know.
It's weird. Yeah, because it's similar
Yeah.
to the Bills as
It's
well.
the
It's a
tale of the
really good
AFC
point.
East.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's DeAndre Swift had a pretty good game. AJ Brown is completely fucking back. Completely back.
Absolute freak.
He's maybe the best receiver in the league already this year, which is crazy because with JJ Jetta's out. Yeah, the Eagles are good. The Miami Dolphins 5-2, but a fickle little 5-2 over there in Miami.
Yeah, Tua didn't look too hot this game. He made some throws that were quite head-scratching, to say the least. I will say this. Tyreek Hill, another one who might be just maybe the best offensive talent in all of the NFL right now. Jalen Waddle kind of had a comeback game, 6 receptions, 63 yards.
Get Jalen Waddle more invested in the offense. Start going to both sides so it doesn't feel like you're always going to Tyreek Hill all the time.
Yeah, once people could start figuring him out, but nobody's going to figure him out.
Guess what? The Eagles are fucking good.
The Eagles are very good. The brother push or whatever the fuck they're calling it.
The brotherly push, whatever it is.
The push.
Brotherly shove, that's what it was.
They have it down to a science, and you got to give them credit because it all started, by the way, in South Bend, Indiana, with the Bush push with Matt Leinart against Notre Dame.
No, they made it up themselves.
No, they didn't.
I think they probably did.
Give credit where credit's due. It started at USC. It did.
I don't know. It took that long for the Eagles to figure it out.
I'm just saying.
But the QB sneak started with the USC.
No, I'm just saying the push. The push.
No, I know.
Started there. Started there. Come on now.
Giving you a hard time. One more game. 49ers at Vikings. What the fuck? Definitely rip it. Oh, my God.
Kirk Cousins, man, he was amazing.
Best primetime game he's ever played in his life.
35 for 45, 378 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. The interception was kind of end of half, so it wasn't the end of the world.
Right.
But, man, and the Vikings defense looked good.
Yep.
They brought some heat.
McCaffrey played
Not well.
well.
He looked like he was hurt.
Purdy, decent stat line, probably not the whole tale of the tape. Not having Debo is proving to be a little bit more of a difficult time for San Francisco than they probably anticipated initially. But it is weird that they got their first 2 losses, 2 in a row, especially against a Minnesota Vikings team that didn't play well at the beginning of the year, and now they go ahead and beat the second best team in the NFC. It's pretty damning, honestly.
I mean, the Vikings, I called it earlier in the season, they could very well win this division.
They could.
The NFC North, I mean, they
I don't
are
think,
starting
they're
to
not,
get hot.
They're not close to it yet, but
They've won 3 of their last 4 games.
right. I know, but they're still 3-4.
Everybody's saying they might trade Kirk Cousins, this, that. How could you?
They're not at this
How
point.
could you?
And also,
You couldn't.
they were never going to trade Kirk Cousins.
No.
That was never going to be an option for them. So, like, people were talking about that, like, oh, send him to, the Jets? It's like, what do you do when Rodgers comes back? Because it seems like he's a robo guy, and he was just coming back in week 17 at this point. Yeah, I don't know. It's just kind of like, I think the 49ers are coming back down to earth a little bit. People are figuring them out a little bit. And I think the Vikings are coming back to the middle, too, because, again, they won the majority of their games last year on one-score drives, or one-score differences, and they made it work this time and didn't throw the game away at the end where they very much could have lost it at the end.
Jordan Addison, welcome
So
to the
good.
NFL. Talk about a welcome to the NFL.
J.J.
type of
Jettis
guy.
leaves. Next man up. Here we go, Jordan Addison.
Could we say that Kirk Cousins played better because he didn't feel the need to get the ball to Justin Jefferson every other play?
It's possible.
I'm not saying
Not
it's
probable,
not,
but it's possible.
just saying. All right, well, that was week 7 in the NFL.
Yeah.
Can you believe it, people? We are almost halfway through the NFL season.
What a shame.
This is almost sad, but
More
we're
football, please.
we're just gonna keep it moving because we're not to holiday season yet, but we're gonna keep it going. All right, so week 8 picks. Are we ready to rip it?
Bucks and Bills, Mike. Who you got?
Well, I got to make a comeback here. So for the record, I ended the week at 7-6. Pick up a game on Vince. Vince was 6-7.
Yep.
So
I am 3
The
games ahead for the year.
the comeback begins. All right, so let's do it. Go ahead.
Bucks and Bills, Mike.
Give me the Bills, and they're going to
Same.
win really big.
Jets at Giants.
Give me the Jets.
I also am taking the Jets, which
Wow.
is I like them a little bit.
Wow.
Jags
Zero
at
parity.
Steelers.
Ooh. It's going to be an interesting game. I'm going to roll with the Jags, though.
I will take the Steelers because
Wow.
they are weird and they win games that sometimes they shouldn't win. Eagles at Commanders.
Well, the last time the Eagles played in Washington, they had a game. More so to bring out Devontae Smith had an absolute banger of a game. I would say this. I don't. The Commies played them really close.
Especially with the Eagles.
I'm still going to pick the Eagles.
I'm going to take them
they're
as
just-
well
they're
because
just
why
too
would
good.
they lose? And I picked against them once last week and it was a bad idea. So I'm not going to do that again. Rams at Cowboys.
This smells like a Cowboys loss. Give me the Rams.
Taking the Rams. I will take the boys. We'll see what they end up doing. I'm
Sounds
not
about right.
entirely confident about that. NFC North matchup, Vikings at Packers.
Oh, give me the Vikings. Sound that horn.
I think the Vikings are absolutely winning this too. I think
Oh,
the
yeah.
Packers are atrocious. And
Oh, yeah.
also, it's always fuck the Packers.
Oh, yeah.
Falcons at Titans.
Turd Bowl.
Terrible.
Toilet Bowl.
Raider season?
I don't know. I'm rolling with the leg of Young Wei Koo because my old hoe, not so cool. Young ho Koo.
I'm going to take them as well. I really don't like this Titans team as far as I can throw them.
Wow, no parody.
Patriots at Dolphins. 2 weeks in a row, Mike.
No way. Dolphins win this game.
Because the Patriots suck, and I agree.
They don't suck.
Yes, they do.
They're
suck.
getting better.
They suck pretty bad.
No, it's still going to be really hot in Miami, and it's a day game.
Yeah.
It's at noon, and they do it on purpose where Miami has shade and the home team or in the away team doesn't.
And
So,
also, the Patriots have Mac Jones, and he's not good. All right, Saints at Colts.
you know, Derek Carr doesn't look healthy. May have a groin injury coming into this week. I'm gonna roll with the Minshew.
I also am as well because I think they're really pissed about that loss last week.
Minshew.
Texans at Panthers.
Give me the dog of a quarterback in C.J. Stroud. I
Yeah.
think he has a lot to prove this week.
Agreed.
These are the 2-1-2 picks in the NFL draft this past season, and I do believe that they are going to want to compete. So I want C.J. Stroud.
Sadly, I have to agree with that as well because we want the Panthers to fucking
Where
lose
is the
over
parity,
here.
people?
Oh, we got 2 games already, so we're good.
All right.
Browns at Seahawks.
Give me the Seahawks. Don't like it.
Phillip. No, I'm taking the Seahawks. No? Geno Smith might not play. Give me the Browns.
Wow.
I'll take the Browns. We'll see how Phillip does this week.
Wow, Philly boy.
Bengals at 49ers.
All right. So Brock Purdy, concussion protocol, looking to be the case that he doesn't play on Sunday, which means it's the only thing to say that it's Sam Darnold's season, I'm still not going to take the 49ers.
Yeah, I was
Give
gonna
me the
say.
Bengals. I think Joey B has a game coming off a bye week. I think they really could get it together here.
I think that I got to take the Bengals as well because they got to get it going at some point. Right now seems like it. I think we might as well just skip this game. Chiefs at Broncos.
We know who's going to win it.
Chiefs are winning that game. The Broncos suck. Moving on. Ravens at Cardinals. Same shit.
Ravens,
Yeah.
lock her in.
Moving on. Now we get that prime time Sunday night game. The Bears at the Chargers.
Listen, if Bagent can play just a solid game,
Bagent.
I'm gonna give me the Bears. I'm
you go.
rolling with it.
I will not be taking the Bears. The Bears. Oh, it
Bears.
fits you perfectly, too. Look
Does
at
we
that
both
go.
have fat heads? Fun
Big
fact.
fucking heads. Go Chargers. I'm taking the Chargers.
Bears.
Raiders at Lions. Comeback game for the Lions, Mike.
Absolutely.
Yeah, the Raiders aren't gonna win this game.
Yeah, what a turd of a game.
There's our picks. You will see how we do next week.
We're back in person, people.
Look at us go.
Look at us.
would've
Mike's got a
thunk?
bear hat on at the end of the episode. Vince has a Bulls hat on
For
to
the
represent
whole episode.
our atrocious team
Yeah.
in the Chicago landscape. So, who do the Bulls play this week, Vince? I don't even know.
Bulls. So the Bulls actually tip off for the first time tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
The Bulls are... Oh, no, excuse me. They're playing right now. I got the days wrong. Oh, my Lord.
We're missing it as a
Oh, my
sports podcast.
Lanta. Well, yeah, we're recording. Thunder at Bulls. It's 64-63 in the third right now. They play again on Friday in Toronto against Toronto at home, and then they move on to the Pistons after that.
When will Lonzo Ball come back? Do you have any idea?
Lonzo Ball may never come back ever. There's
I
there's
don't-
no timetable.
I don't think there's a chance in hell. For everybody watching this, we'll see. The Bulls right now are winning by a legitimate point.
Yep.
Or
Against
should
a
we
good
say
Thunder team.
bucket. Yeah.
Good Thunder team.
Good Thunder team. We'll see how they do. I mean, the Thunder haven't been good in a really long time, and
They
this
got
Bulls
those
team.
young studs. Chet Holmgren's back. We got freaking Shai Gilgeous-Alexander trying to come up and do another NBA first team year. There's a chance that they're going to be good. And Josh Giddey, our Australian king.
Hey, Kobe White on this game so far, 10 points. DeMar
Dog.
DeRozan, 14. We'll see. I mean, don't have any high expectations with Dame Lillard now. Oh, dear God.
Yeah,
This is definitely going to be one.
that's tough.
But as always, people, we can't be here in the flesh every week, and we can't do this. But what we can do is keep pushing that amazing content, which we know you guys love. Now, as always, every week, you got to follow it. You got to subscribe now because that's a thing. You got to hit
Yeah.
that little bell, so please do that.
Ring-a-ding-ding. Subscribe to us, please.
You're on the socials. Please drop us a follow. We would be more than happy to entertain you on that as well. And we will always see you next week. I would be ashamed not to mention your parents. You know, you should let them know about the podcast because in the beginning we were talking about the parents. You should let the grandparents know. You should let your siblings know about the pod. We'll see you next week, people.
Peace.